What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wine in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with another episode of the Eagle Moss Enterprise D from Fanhome and pack number 21 of this build. Now, as like with last month, I'm going to go ahead and just get into doing an entire pack as I have the entire model, which is just mind-blowing to me, kind of still, actually. But as I have the entire model, and a lot of my mods have been done. I've gone through and done all my either microcrystal clear windows or my resin windows. There are only a couple of mods left to take care of, and those mods are going to be the deflector mod coming up here in a couple of episodes, and then there's going to be the obviously the central computer, which we're going to be getting into towards the end of the build with an Arduino, and then we also have the power mod as well. And then I got a couple other ideas for a couple things as well. But as most of this has been completed, all of the tough stuff has been completed, it's time to go ahead and just take care of one pack per episode. And so we're in pack number 21 and into the final 10 packs of this build. I am super excited about that. For as much fun as this model has been to build, and I've been very fortunate to be able to get my hands on the last third of the build without having to worry about any delays anymore on this model from Fanhome. As I've kind of gotten towards the end, I've got a bunch of other models coming up. I got a couple of special things coming and some new Partworks on the way. And I'm just kind of ready to be done with this after a couple of years of building. But as I am here and in the model that got it all started, I really want to do the due diligence and get everything covered properly and get everything built properly. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get on to pack number 21 and, oh buddy, stage 79, which sees us getting another hull panel put in place and a lot more escape pods. All right, so here is stage 79. Let's go ahead and get this open. This is one of the very few that I actually haven't opened yet. I've kind of gone through and at least opened most of them, at least a little bit, to go through and get access to whole panels and so on and so forth. There's our trash set off to the side. Very nice. Get that thrown away. My kitten loves that. We have our backing plate for the escape pods. We have our rim with the sensor band along the outside. We have some FM and AM screws. Let's go ahead and get our FM screws out. We can do this without tearing anything. FM. Oh. And AM. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, I'm going to be doing an episode here. Probably the next episode will be detailing how I went through as a reminder of how I did the resin windows. Even though they're all done, I don't really know if I could demonstrate it anymore. But show you how I do the resin windows, how I do the panels, how I build the panels, so that you guys can kind of get an idea of what I do, so that when I'm skipping over this, it's not like a complete like, oh, what is Jordan doing? Like sort of thing. So, got our AM. Wow, we got a bunch of screws to use this episode. We got, or this particular stage, we got DP screws. Lots of them. This particular stage, there's a lot going on, so we got to get moving. We have our BP screws. Wow. Am I all out of cups? Well, I guess I might be. Set our jams off to the side. Those are special jams from stage 94. They replace the jam screws that we were using before. IM's down here. We got our escape pod cover, which I'm not going to be using today. I'm going to go ahead and set off to the side with all of the other escape pod covers that I have. We have our whole panel section with nothing but the escape pod covers, a reflector, an LED, and a bunch of our escape pods themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and get my panel assembled. And just as a quick reminder, I'm going to put in my escape pods. I'm going to put silver tape back behind here, and then I'm going to go ahead and get this piece put on. And then when we come back, we'll go ahead and finish the assembly. All right, so our panel is put together. Once again, got a little bit of light blocking around the rim there where the plastic isn't in place. Got our aluminum tape back behind, and all of our escape pods put in place. Everything's nice and flat and level. Looks really good. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. And as a reminder, of course, I am following along today with MyEnterpriseD.com. Todd has done the amazing work of making this model make a little bit more sense and make it more difficult if you're following along with his mods. So make sure to check out MyEnterpriseD.com. Definitely worth your time for this build. So I am scrolling down. We're going to go ahead and grab our saucer section. This looks exciting. Here she is. Very good. All right, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to grab our panel, notch it in, just like so. Make sure it is grabbing the whole panel from underneath and pulling it up, or pulling it down towards the saucer. And this is... There we go. Excellent. And what we're going to do, kill that spider on the desk. Wow, it's just running across there. And with 2 FM screws, we're going to go ahead and lock it in place here and here. Then, as a reminder, I'm using 3-in-1 oil for any one of our M screws, as these are going into metal. And it helps ease the threads through any overspray that you might see. And then I'm going to be waiting until the very end to use my escape pod covers here to clip them in place, just in case I need to take apart anything for any reason and fix something. Excellent. All right. So there is our whole panel put in place. Let's go ahead and move the saucer. We'll see this a couple more times today. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to grab the reflector that we were working on last time, or the whole panel that we were working on last time. And what we're going to do is we are going to put this in place. Yep, just like so. There we go. Make sure everything's all taken care of. Now, this is where I discovered that I wasn't going to be able to do the LED, or excuse me, the resin windows on this curved section, and some spilled out. I quickly the UV resin spilled out, but I quickly used some IPA to clean that up, and it kind of took down a little bit of the paint there. My big mistake on this model, but I'm totally fine with it. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, so now what we have are 2 LED slots right here and right here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab the LEDs that are provided in this issue, and I'm going to match them up just like so. Now remember, of course, that we're going to use a spot of glue, just a spot, as there is no reflector back behind, or not reflector, but light box to sit back behind here and hold the LEDs in place a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the LED in place like that with the glue on there. Do the same thing with the other one. And all I'm doing is I am not gluing this to the whole panel. I am gluing this to the reflector only. So glue on one side only. Oh, goodness. Pulled the one out already. That one is in. That one is in. Let's go ahead and grab some zip kicker. Put that in there. And inside. Huh. And what we'll do is we'll just throw a little bit more glue on here. Thankfully, this model doesn't require a whole lot of glue, unlike some of the other Partworks. These are more screws than anything else. All right. Now, like I said, this is a big stage. That is all set in place. What we're going to do is get these, pull these, so that they're making their way down, kind of like this. Okay, just like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the upper frame for the engineering section, which we haven't seen in a little while. And I'm going to orientate everything properly. So these LEDs are going to come in from either side. Right here. Okay. And I believe everything clips in. Yep. Run that through there. Pull these up through here. There we go. Right? Yep, everything seems like it's fitting well. Yep. And then with 5 DP screws here in the middle, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We're going to secure this in place. Well, and it would also help, I just noticed, to keep the LEDs in place. Maybe if I had screwed them in place when the instruction called for it, thankfully, it didn't cause any issues. I'm a genius sometimes, you guys. Make the mistakes, as Wayne says, so you don't have to. So there we are. Now, what we're going to do, I believe the ending of this, is we're going to go ahead and plug them to any of the 2 pins marked A on the socket, which is going to be on, oh, there's really just, they're all marked A. All right, well, we're going to go run 1 on each side. I'm going to go the first one up here in this corner, as Todd also noted. Makes sense to do so. And then we're going to go second in on this side. And there we go. Excellent. We got our first hull panel put on our first frame section. Well, kind of a couple of them now, but that is a lot. And I got to say, that was 31 minutes just for one stage. Let's go ahead and move on to stage 80 and get some more work done on both the saucer section and the battle drive section. All right, here is stage number 80. I've broken into this thing a couple of times. I've done things. I've been using tape to kind of hold everything together. So here is our next panel that we're going to be working on. I have gone through, and this is the microcrystal clear, and everything's been blocked off and all that jazz. A lot of work went into this, but it's all ready to go. We got our whole panel here. Take that out. Normally that would be sitting in a tray, but my glue tray is that. Got our screws here. I'll go ahead and get them out. And then the rest of our package. And this stage, much like the last stage, it's going to be much of the same. So we have our rim piece, sensor band, the backing for our escape pods, our escape pod cover, which is going to go with all the others, and then a few more screws. So, for sake of understanding, all they're doing in this stage is introducing us to this part. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set aside. And then, as always, I'm going to go ahead and get this whole panel assembled. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and throw it into the saucer real quick. All right, so our whole panel is put together. Everything's all nice and ready to go. Let's go ahead and bring back the saucer section. We have a lot of this today, back and forth, back and forth. And we are going to install that right over here. So to do so, much like before, make sure we're grabbing the whole panel underneath and it's gripping it. Slot it in. Because what needs to happen is the whole panel, this one, grabs the top whole panel and brings everything together. What I'm finding is hold in the corner right here, push in, and slide down as you're going along. And it will hold it in place. Then, using 2 FM screws, lubed up, get them in place. There we go. And with that installation, we're all good. Saucer is pulled flat all along the outside, or right around here. Although right here, oh, I'm noticing a little bit of a lift. I'm going to go ahead and grab this whole panel, the matching whole panel on the other side here. Always make sure you're going through and checking your work from before. Like, you don't want to go too far in this build and have things mess up on you. I'm using that same technique. There we go. Grab that. Don't go disappearing on me there. There we go. There we go. That grabbed the whole panel underneath. It's already been oiled in the previous episode. Get that reinstalled. Yeah, make sure you're checking your work, because you don't want to get too far ahead and realize you've made a critical mistake and have to go way back. All right, check along the edge. All right, that is stage 80 complete. Let's go ahead and move on to stage 81 and see what that has in store for us. All right, here is stage 81. Once again, one of the very few that I haven't opened. Let's go ahead and do that, however. Get that done. I think I need to replace my hobby blade as it's starting to get a little dull here. There we are. Got a whole new pack of those just waiting around. Get my screws out. And as a reminder for this stage, I went ahead and dug forward to stage 94, where they offer up a replacement JM screw, which replaces the AM screws, and these ones have a countersunk head so that the whole panels above fit a little bit better. So I went ahead and pulled this out of issue 94 and then put that one away. So let's go ahead and get those out as well. We have our whole frame section. And there are not too many of these left that we need to install. I believe we have one more for the other side. And then I believe we have like the lower part of the engineering section. But that should be pretty close to it. We have a couple of LEDs. Got a bracket here. Should I have two? I don't know. Maybe. Or is it just one? It may be just one. And then we have a window section that we're not going to be using, an acrylic window section. And then we have a reflector. So I'm going to go ahead and set the acrylic section off to the side. Let's go ahead and get into building. And to do so, we're going to bring the saucer back up here. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to start here building on the frame. So let's go ahead and turn it over into its proper position. And then we're going to go ahead and grab one of our LEDs. Kind of flare it out like this, a little bit like that. We're going to take the LED, position it like this, and then taking this post, just like so. We're going to use 1 AM screw. You need to flare out the LED a little bit more. Kind of want to go kind of wide here, just like that. That's right. Just to give room for the post. I'm going to go ahead and load up one of my AM screws. Get our oil onto it. Then, with the LED sitting in place, what I like to do for these ones is drop the screw in through the little post and get it matched up into place. Sometimes it's a little finicky, but I got big, stupid fingers, so everything for me can be a little finicky. Okay, so after futzing with it for a few minutes, I went ahead and just kind of slightly dropped it in place. Then, taking the LED, bending the wires around that little bracket, shove it in, and then tighten it down. That should, in theory, hold it in place. I say in theory, but there it is in place. Okay. Yep, so just the one LED. Excellent. So now we're going to go ahead and grab back the saucer section now. And where we are going to be working is going to be over on this side of the saucer. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my nav light taped down right here, as we're going to be working right through here. There we go. Run the LED just kind of over in this general direction. Find our spots where everything mounts up while sliding this underneath and in between. Just like so. Now what we're going to do, now that I kind of figured out where it's positioned, just like so, use my spudging tool here. Make sure our wires aren't being pressed down or crimped around any of these holes. Make sure our wires are running down in between the channels where they're supposed to be running. No wires are going to be sitting in any screw holes. And be thorough about this, because you can pinch and damage some of your components. But we are good to go, just like so. And then we're going to start with 4 FM screws right down along here. I like to start in the middle. Then get the one next to it on the right put in. Then finish tightening down the middle one. And every time I'm screwing something in, I am double checking to make sure I'm not pinching any wires in between anywhere where wires can't go. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to be doing some extra soldering. And hopefully y'all are comfortable with soldering at this point. All right. And our last one is getting put in place. Excellent. Now we're going to go ahead and replace using not the AM screw, but we're going to go ahead and use the JM screw here. And that one is going to sit right in between the two hole frames. And once again, it is countersunk. So this part sits a lot flatter so that the panels above it sit flatter as well. All right, then we're going to go ahead and go through with 8 BM screws, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, as a reminder, I'm not going to tighten everything down 100% until I'm certain that everything is seating properly. I'm going to give one look around before tightening everything down, and when we come back, we'll see how that turned out. All right, that is put in place. Excellent news. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is grab the LED that we just installed. Where is your lead? There we are. And this one is going to put into any one of the B sockets on PCB 3. We're going to do the first one closest to us. Just like so. Make sure your polarity is checked. And there we go. Excellent. So, I am going to go ahead and test my lights. It's a very crucial step. Every single time that you add a hull frame section, you should test your lights. I'm going to plug in. And where is our power switch? Here is our power switch. And all of our lights are still working. Fantastic news. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to bringing the part that we introduced in the previous section, in the previous stage, right here. We're going to take this, grab the reflector, set it down over the top here, and we're going to grab the other LED, and this one, like the others, we're going to need to glue down in place just like so. So we're going to glue it to the reflector and not the model. Set that in place. I'm going to let that cure for just a moment. I'll be right back. All right, that's cured up. Oh, I say that. Maybe not. Give it another minute. All right, there we go. Nice and taken care of. I went ahead and bent the LED up in a 90 degree, just like so. And we're just going to set this over the top just like that. And then using 2 DP screws. Where are you? The DPs are right here. Yep. Let me go ahead and cover it. Get that locked in. And there it is. Excellent. So, our reflector's put in place. We're ready to get a little bit more assembly done on this, and I think we're going to take care of that in the next stage. So, let's go ahead and move on to stage, 82? And finish up pack 21 as we get 10% closer. Would that be 10%? Yeah, I guess it would be. As we get 10% closer towards finishing up this build, and man, I gotta say, it's pretty cool to say that. So, stage 82 coming up. All right, here's stage 82. I have already opened this one a little bit because we needed to add a few windows to this section. But let's go ahead and get the rest of this opened here. Get all of our parts out. Excellent. Oh, that's good. Excellent, excellent news. So, now what we're going to do, pop our whole panel out. I remember this one was a absolute pain in the butt. Normally I save these to put glue in, but this is getting thrown away. Yikes. Okay. Here is our whole panel, and it just has a couple of dark windows and one yellow tinge window, which I chose to use. Excellent. We have an acrylic window set that we're not going to be using. We'll go ahead and set that off to the side. We have another acrylic window set that we're not going to be using, which we're also going to set off to the side. Escape pods, reflectors, a phaser strip, and our screws. I'm going to go ahead and get my screws opened up. There's only a few of them this time around. Lots of screws this episode. Got some AM and DP screws. All right, so basically, there's not a whole lot to do here. So I'll show you guys really quick what I do. So if you notice, at the end of each one of these escape pods, there's like two little nubs on either end. Okay, so what I like to do is grab my hobby knife and basically, while it's still on the sprue, for support purposes, I'll take my hobby knife and shave them off. And this just allows them to sit a little bit better down into the position. Kind of, it forces them to like lock in place, quote unquote. But what winds up happening is they will sit kind of funny. And with taping them in place, you don't really need to lock them in. All right, so get those off of the sprue. And then with the red line facing down, we're going to go ahead and drop one in each one of the spots. Then what I like to do, I have my aluminum tape here. I'm going to use that and just kind of cut off a piece just like so. At that angle. And expose the back. And using my tweezers, go through, get it all lined up. Nice and easy. Same thing for the smaller spot here. I got a smaller piece of tape right here. So go just like that. Make sure it's not too big. There we go. Now, get this one put in place. Excellent. There we go. Now, we're going to go ahead and just match these up. Just like that. And then just like that. Right? Yep. And then using the AM screws, three of those, lock these into place. Thankfully, the beauty of this is they all just didn't go flying. But at this point, we should have more than enough backups just in case. There we go. Excellent. So, there are our escape pods put into place. Very nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our reflector. Set it just like this. Right over the top. And then using one of the other AM screws, unlock it into place. Excellent. So our reflector is put back behind the windows. Very cool. Now, grab our phaser strip turn that over, and then using 2 of the DP screws, go ahead and lock that in place. And there it is. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be the end of stage 82 and the end of package 21. All right, my friends, here we are. Next time when we come back, I'm going to do a little bit more of a detailed build on showing you how I assemble all of our hull panels. And so when I'm skipping over these parts, you guys kind of know what I'm doing and use it as a bit of a tutorial, which I don't see a whole lot of like tips and tricks out there. So I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I really hope that you guys are looking forward to that. Otherwise, that's what I got for you today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And just remember to always live long and prosper.